Good morning, Year 4. It's Wednesday, the 10th of February, and today we're going to write a book review of The Butterfly Lion. Over the next couple of days, we're going to be talking quite a lot about book reviews. And just to give you a bit of an idea about some of the books that I like, I'm going to share with you a few books that I've really enjoyed in my lifetime, and also some books that my children have enjoyed as well. Now, as most of you know, last term we did The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, and I just wanted to show you, I said we talked about The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe being part of a series of books, and I thought I'd show you another one of those, Prince Caspian, which is a huge adventurous story in that series. It's with Narnia in it and all sorts of wonderful characters like we found in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. And that's one, this series of books is a whole set that I really enjoyed when I was about your age, and I still enjoy now. Another one, when I was probably a bit younger, were the Peter Rabbit books. This one's called The Tale of Squirrel and Nutkin by Beatrix Potter. And I really enjoyed these for several reasons, but mostly it was the absolutely beautiful illustrations. The stories were quite sweet about little animals and things, but the illustrations of the animals, when I was quite a young child, I really enjoyed these stories. And you can see this is quite an old copy that I've got here of Squirrel and Nutkin. Another book that means quite a lot to me from my childhood is this one, A Flight of Swans, which is, the story itself isn't that brilliant, but it was given to me when I left primary school as a prize. We all got prizes in those days. Now I thought I would keep it, and I've kept it all the way through, and it's one that I sometimes pick up, have a little read. It's okay. It's not the best story, but it means a lot to me because it was something that reminds me of my time when I was at primary school. When I became a bit older, I really got into quite a lot of classics as well. And this is one, Little Women, one to read probably when you're a teenager. But these Penguin popular classics, I really enjoy, and I still enjoy those today. Some of the books my children enjoyed, and I enjoyed reading to them when they were younger. This was one of my favourites to read, Owl Babies. Don't know if you know this one from when you were younger children, when you were in reception in year 1. Really sweet story about little baby owls. And my boys really enjoyed that. They used to love that one. And another one, The Tiger Who Came to Tea, classic story about a little girl going shopping with her mum, and the tiger comes back and eats everything in their house. It's a really fun little story. And then as my boys grew a bit older, I started reading them these, and I think I enjoyed these as much. Harry Potter stories. This is the first one, The Philosopher's Stone. So there's some there from my boys when they were younger. And just to sort of show that I still do read a lot, I thought I'd just share a couple of books I've read recently. This one's called The Beekeeper of Aleppo, which is a really interesting story of somebody trying to escape from Aleppo and come to the United Kingdom. And it's the story of how they escaped, and it's based on a true story, but it's quite sad and quite grueling in places, but I did enjoy it. And this all I did, this person who escaped, who left Aleppo, was somebody who had bees. And it's linked to the story of how those bees, how he started being a beekeeper once he reached the UK as well. It's really good. And this one is a favourite of mine recently, Anthony Horowitz, Magpie Murders. And this is a bit like our Butterfly Lion story, because this one is a story within a story. And I really like that structure. It sort of starts somewhere and takes you somewhere else, just like in our Butterfly Lion. And also Anthony Horowitz is a favourite author of mine. He has written some children's books, probably for children a little bit older than you, but you need to look out for him. Definitely one to watch. And Magpie Murders, I really do like a good whodunit. It says they're the finest crime novel of the year. And it is a good one, really interesting, really good twist but the fact that it's got 2 stories going on at the same time makes it good as well. Okay, so we're going to look at writing a book review of our Butterfly Lion story today. I've given you a link here if you've missed the final parts, which I gave you as work on Monday. And if you've missed anything else, you can also search for the other chapters if you've missed a bit, or look back on Teams for the other links so that you've got the whole story there for you. Okay. Right, so in a book review, book reviews, film reviews are very similar. So we've got a title and a name of the author or director. We need some opinion work. We need some information. We need something about what you enjoyed or what you did not enjoy, and how it can be improved if you didn't enjoy it. And we also need some summarising and who you would recommend it to, and also if there's anything similar in other books you can link and recommend. Okay, so let's go through these in a little bit more detail. So the title and name of the author, well, it's The Butterfly Lion by Michael Morpurgo. And if you were doing this as part of your review, you might include something about the book cover, or you might create your own book cover as part of this review. You might think about opinion. Do you like or dislike, and are you going to give a reason? And at the beginning of a review, you might engage the reader with a question. So, for example, do you like stories within stories? So we've got 2 stories going on here, haven't we? We've got the boy and the lady in the house at the beginning, and then she tells the story of Bertie and herself and the whole African story with the lion. And I've written under there, I really like this story because it was beautifully written with enough excitement to keep me turning the pages. But I've started it there with a little question. You might want to try that as well. You do need to put some information about the story. You need to give some description. You need to write some sort of description, but you must be careful not to give the whole story away. You don't want to tell them everything that happens in The Butterfly Lion, because the reader then, there's no interest, there's no wanting to pick it up, buy it, read it, or borrow it from the library, or download it, or however you're going to read it. So you've got to give enough information in this section just to whet the appetite of the reader without giving everything away. That little box keeps wanting to come up today, children. Okay, and the next bit, what did you enjoy most and why? So I've put here, I really enjoyed the fact that this was a story within a story, because this structure really interests me. And I've already said, haven't I, about this one, I tend to look for stories that are more than one story going on. I just find it's an interesting structure, and it gets keeps my brain busy when I'm reading. Or if you did not enjoy it, how could it be improved? So there's an option there. If you didn't enjoy The Butterfly Lion, then you need to give a reason there. You need to say what you didn't enjoy. Okay. Can you possibly recommend this book? Who would enjoy it? Star rate it or give it marks out of 10? Is it similar to anything else? So I recommend this book to adults and children who like animals and adventure stories. Anyone who has enjoyed other Michael Morpurgo stories will surely enjoy this. So I've linked it there to something similar, because I do think if you generally like other stories by Michael Morpurgo, this one is one of his best. It's got all his elements in there, all the things he likes to write about, we've discussed, and elements of World War II, elements of friendship, elements of animals, and stories with animals in, and stories about life as well. He really does enjoy doing that. So I've actually star rated it 5, because I do think it's one of his best ones, but it's your decision with your review. Just a bit of a checklist. Now, I put this checklist on Teams. It's quite a big checklist, but it's worth just going through, thinking about using capital letters for names of the book and the name of the author. Have you put your name on the review as well? Have you included the title of the book and the author? Are you using your first person? Are you talking about, it's your point of view? You need to use I and me. Are you trying to engage with the reader? We just talked about that question at the beginning. Are you giving a bit of a summary? And are you commenting on characters and things like that? So it's quite a good little check back just to make sure that you've done your review and that little sheet is on Teams for you to check off that you've done most of that, please. So what is your task? I want you to write a review of the butterfly lion. I've uploaded on Teams several different templates, several different sheets that you could use to present your review. However, you do not have to use one of those. You can do it in your way. You could do boxes and lines. You could do it on PowerPoint. You could do it handwritten. You could type it. You can present it however you want. It must be written in sentences. It must be clear and detailed and include some illustrations, some sort of picture. But how you present it is entirely up to you. Okay, I've given you some choice there. If you're stuck, you can use one of the things that I've uploaded to help you, one of the structures, okay? So that's what they're there for when you go to Teams. So you can give me your work back on Teams, or you can email me with your work this morning, children. I hope that's given you a bit of an idea on how to write a review. And remember, if you're struggling, you want to re-listen to some of the story again, that's a link there. But it's very easy to find those links if you just put into your search engine, Michael Morpurgo, The Butterfly Lion, and you'll find all the chapters that we've already listened to on YouTube. Okay, I look forward to that, seeing your reviews, children. Goodbye.